Hello and welcome to the next in this series of Introduction to Blender tutorials. And in this one, we're going to be looking at bone rigging characters. So we're going to focus on giving a character bones, which will enable us to make him move like a real person. This is known as rigging in the 3D modeling world. So to start off, we're going to use very simple rough character mesh, which was created through nothing more than box modeling, extruding, loop cuts, and mirroring. And you can use this model or you can create your own one very quickly. And if you're not sure how to model a character like this, you can find out in tutorials 5, 6, and 7, which are on box modeling, extruding, and loop cutting in edit mode, and also using the mirror modifier. So for rigging in this tutorial, it's important that your character is on the x-axis and that the 3D cursor is centered, which you can do by pressing Shift-C. Press Shift-A to add your first bone by selecting Armature, Single Bone. Press Tab with the bone selected to enter edit mode, and you can now see that the bone is made up of 3 different parts. You've got the head, the tail, and the body. Every bone has these 3 sections. So bones can be parents or children of other bones. And if you're not sure what that means, just check out tutorial 12 on linking parent and child relationships. So we're going to grab and move the bone now so that it's going to form the spine of the character. Go to the Object Data tab and tick the X-ray box so that we can actually see the bone through our character's mesh. Grab and move the top of the bone, which is the tail in this case, up to the character's neck. Press W and then subdivide the bone into 3 mini bones. Obviously you need to select the entire bone before you do this. And from the top of the tail at the character's neck, just select the tail and then press E to extrude a new bone for the head and extend it to the top of the character's head. You'll notice that when you extend certain bones, they can become quite large. It doesn't matter at all because the bones are actually invisible. So create bones in the same way for the shoulders, for the arms, the upper arm, the lower arm, and the hand by extruding from the tail and grabbing and moving the bones to match the line of the arm. Do the same then for the legs, starting with the hips, extruding from the tail and moving the bone to match the shape of the body, the upper leg, the lower leg, and finally the foot. You can name your bones in the Bones tab on the right-hand side. For example, the shoulder bone, the spine, upper arm, upper leg, lower leg, and so on, which is a very useful thing to do and quite advisable because it'll help you to keep track of all of the different bones that you've created. Go back to object mode now by pressing Tab and make the mesh a child of the armature. To do this, first we select the mesh. Next we select the armature. Press Ctrl and P and choose with automatic weights from the drop-down menu that shows up. Make sure you do this in the right order because if you select the armature first and then the mesh, you're actually making the mesh the parent, which is not what you want. You want the armature to be the parent. Once the armature and the mesh have been linked, Blender creates a new mode called Pose Mode, which becomes unlocked. It was previously inaccessible. It's only available when you have an armature selected, which you can enter by selecting the armature and by choosing Pose Mode from the drop-down menu. Enter Pose Mode and move the bones around a bit to see how the armature works. The easiest way is if you right-click to select one of the bones and then rotate or move it and see that the the mesh body follows exactly wherever the bone goes. So now try to create a short animation of your character walking by simply animating the armature. Don't go for realism, just try to get the character from A to B and also make his legs move. And if you really want to, you can add movement to his arms and his head, his body, to add more detail to the movement. So this has been a very simple introduction to rigging your characters with bones in Blender.